we have some new details as to what could have been for Respawn's cancelled first-person shooter Mandalorian game. It was only a couple of weeks ago that fans were getting very excited after Insider Gaming exclusively reported on the first details for this video game, but just a couple of days ago, we found out about its very disappointing cancellation. It should be said that by all accounts this game was going to be fantastic. It wasn't going to be open world, but from everyone who had the opportunity to work on it, feedback seems to have been very positive and surrounded by buzz, with developers stating they enjoyed the entire process from start to finish. That being said, EA felt as though the game was too much of a financial risk, and combined with various other layoffs, they pulled the plug. But today, my dear friends, we do have some details as to what the game was going to involve, and it sounds pretty awesome. So as we know, even though this video game was going to sport the Mandalorian moniker, it had nothing to do with Din Djarin or Grogu. This game was going to involve a new bounty hunter, and a brand new story which began like this. The game started with what is called the Den. This was essentially akin to the Mandalorian's covert, the player's base of operations. It contained a ship, a map of the galaxy, an upgrade station, and an armory. It's understood this is where you would select various bounties that you wanted to pursue. The player could then equip themselves with the weapons they wanted, upgrade their armor, and then start the mission. Land on the planet where the bounty is located that you selected. Pretty awesome. The game, as I say, was a linear experience, but some brand new details reveal there were going to be some larger areas for the player to explore. Secret missions, secret bounties. Combat was described as very fast-paced, and we spoke about the perks of having a Mandalorian jetpack that was focal to the entire first-person shooter experience. The main enemies were stormtroopers, who would patrol most maps as you tried to complete your bounty. And just like other Star Wars games, there were various types of stormtroopers you would encounter. Even though this takes place years before the events of the show, when the Empire is still running the galaxy, the plot of this game does sound very similar to the events of what was going to be Mando Season 4, which is now probably going to be encompassed by the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Insider Gaming also understands the game was going to feature, quote, more significant, boss-like enemies, which would see you face AT-ST walkers, other Imperial war machines, and several enemies across various planets. These could range from gangs to syndicates, outlaws, and other bounty hunters who wanted to beat you to the punch. It was going to be a competitive bounty hunting experience. Could you imagine trying to beat Zuckuss, Dengar, IG-88 and even Boba Fett to a bounty? It is believed the game was still a ways off from its release, and it's believed the design of the Mandalorian protagonist was similar but different to that of Din Djarin. I always find it such a shame hearing about amazing Star Wars projects that have been scrapped or cancelled, and this is one of them. In other quick updates for The Mandalorian, after the announcement that The Mandalorian and Grogu is filming in Los Angeles this coming June, we have another major tease from the hair and makeup department who worked on Mando and Boba Fett, that they're going to be working on the galaxy far, far away very soon. This is the same account that teased the same thing a couple of months ago, so things are definitely ramping up.